She dropped it into the conversation so casually, her eyes never lifting from her phone. I have a date. Just like that, as if she were telling me it might rain or reminding me the trash needed taking out. Free words, smooth and deliberate. Placed with precision, I studied her closely. That smug little curve on her lips, she wore it like a medal, certain she'd already won. What she didn't see was the truth. The match had ended long ago, and I'd walked off the field without her ever noticing. A year earlier, that single comment would have gutted me. Back then, we were the couple people envied, hosting dinner parties, sharing silent glances across crowded rooms, trading dreams over still popcorn, and grainy old black and white films. I believed in her. I believed in us. She had a way of saying exactly the right thing at exactly the right time, making me think we were laying bricks for a future. In reality, I was the only one building. Then came the shift. She stayed late at work. She suddenly became obsessed with the gym. Her phone was always locked. My jokes no longer drew a laugh. Someone else had her attention now, mid-sentence, while I sat finishing stories to an empty chair. Still, I kept giving her the benefit of the doubt. That's what trust does. It clouds your sight until the truth slams into you on some dull, gray Tuesday afternoon. I was digging in her bag for a charger when her screen lit up. Can't wait for tonight. Same room. She was in the shower. I didn't feel rage. Not yet. What came instead was sharper, cold, calculated. I didn't confront her. That's what desperation does. I chose patience, strategy. That night, I lay beside her, unmoving. The sin of cologne clung to her skin, and it wasn't mine. It wasn't heartbreak I felt. It was clarity, purpose. Quietly, I began collecting evidence. GPS logs, clone messages, every location, every purchase, every transaction on our shared accounts. She never suspected a thing. That's how I found him. Ethan Rollins, mid-level corporate type, married, predictable. Then I found his wife, Julia. She didn't cry. She laughed, then slid her own pile of proof across the table. Just like that, we went from victims to co-conspirators. I hired a private investigator. Discreet, expensive, ruthless, worth every cent. Within weeks, I had it all: photos, voice recordings, receipts, enough to burn everything to ash. But I wasn't finished. We had built a business together. On paper, it was a joint venture. In truth, I owned the trademarks, the contracts, the intellectual property. While she chased adrenaline and secret glances, I rewrote the very structure of our company. Shifted chairs, changed access, locked her out of doors she didn't know existed. By the time she realized, the trap had already snapped shut. Last Thursday, I told her I had something planned. A surprise, a special evening. She lit up, wearing the red dress she'd worn the night we closed our first big deal. She looked radiant, unaware she was stepping into the final act. The restaurant was all glass and skyline, the kind of place people choose for proposals. She twirled her wine without sipping. "So, what's the big occasion?" she asked. I slid a folder across the table. She chuckled until she opened it. Inside, every detail of the affair, proof of stolen funds, contract breaches, and a letter from Ethan's soon-to-be ex-wife's attorney. Her smile vanished. Her fingers trembled around the wine glass. "This isn't," she started. "It is," I said evenly. "You're out. Your assets are frozen. Ethan is under investigation. You've been named in the civil suit." Her lips parted, but only air escaped. Then, barely above a whisper, "I still love you." "I know," I replied, standing. "Enjoy your date." Now I sit alone in the apartment we once shared, now legally mine. The city outside feels quieter, sharper somehow. I think back to the lies I swallowed, the loyalty I gave without question. They say revenge comes from anger. They're wrong. It's born from truth, from reclaiming the parts of yourself you let someone dull. I don't miss her. I miss the woman I thought she was. And now every time she tries to move on, every dinner, every meeting where my name still echoes, every moment she lifts a glass of wine and waits for someone, she remembers that night because I didn't yell. I didn't plead. I didn't beg. I ended it with silence, precision, and one sentence she'll never forget.